everyone, welcome to another process video. I'm just showing you some bits and pieces that I have pulled together for a kit that I've made for the Scrap Your Stash Kit Club. So this month's collection is called Mr. Fox, and it has some neutrals like browns, beige and greys with some touches of reds, oranges or yellows and greys. So if you want to check that out, you can check that out at www.scrap-kitclub.com and get some more information there. So this is the bits and pieces I pulled out today for this layout, and the pieces of paper that I've chosen are from basic grey, the beautiful grey with the orange triangles is a new piece from the Kelly Perky collection called Second City. There it is there. And the brown in sort of grey one is also basic grey, and that was an older piece that I had in my stash, and that was from Life of the Party. So I have cut out the middle of the brown, or the deep brown grey piece, so that I can match my photo with that, and I am just sticking sticky on the back there of that beautiful grey and orange piece. I think I cut off 1/4 of an inch off one side and the top, and I have added that, and I am now just having a look at what I want to do. So I have pulled a selection of different Project Life cards, so I'm not sure who they are from because I just went through my big stash and found all different cards that I thought that might be appropriate for this layout, and so I don't remember exactly who they're from. So that little Life is Good card there, that was from the Kelly Perky collection as well, and so are those 6x6 pieces of paper. You can see that's from the 6x6 paper pad. And so I'm just playing at the moment with some matting and some placement, and keeping that square relatively short. So I've got the flare there, just having a look, trying to keep the colours to the greys and with some accents of the orange. So just looking through the chipboard collections for that same collection, the Kelly Perky one from Basic Grey, and seeing what might suit from there, and either pulling them aside and keeping them for later on, or just popping them up on some foam, and so that they can be mounted up a little bit. And I've got that little Dear Lizzie book, sticker book, and so grabbing a few elements out of there as well, and just putting them on some greaseproof paper so that I can use them and move them around, because at this stage I'm not exactly sure where I want to place things. Like I've said before in another video, I usually have no plan when I start a scrapbook layout, so I'm not working off a sketch, or I haven't thought about where I'm going to put things. What you see is exactly what I do. So I just start pulling things out and sticking them on, placing them around the page and seeing whether I like it or not. So I have got the sticker book from let's have a look, who is it, Dear Lizzie, and also one from Amy Tangerine. So I go through both of those, having a bit of a look at some different elements that I might like to pick from there. So this is a photo of my son, who has just turned 16, and he was ready to go out to the school's spring dance. So that's only open to Year 11 students, so he's Year 11 this year, and next year he gets to do his Year 12 formal. So he was pretty excited about that, and he picked his outfit, so he went shopping, bought his own top, own pants, own shoes. So I was pretty impressed with that. So he looked pretty flash, and you know, gave him the warning to keep all the girls away from him, and thankfully he's not really interested at this stage anyway, so he, you know, is oblivious to their attentions and affections towards him, and he just went and had a great time with all of his friends. So, alright, so back to the layout. I've got that little camera and I'm thinking of putting something in the middle there, and I tried that little, those little flower stickers, but they were a little bit too big, so I have grabbed the flare from the Kelly Perky pack, but it had a very high piece of foam on the back, so I have already mounted that camera onto the foam, so I didn't want it to be higher again, so I just ripped that off and used a bit of glossy accents to stick the flare on to the front of the camera. So I have decided that that's ready to start sticking the layers together. Sometimes I tuck all of the things behind before committing to sticking and placement, but this time I'm just sticking as I'm going. So just having a look at what I've got and not going too crazy with the embellishments, I'm hoping, and being happy with where I've put things. So as you can see, I've moved the camera over to the other side, to the left hand side now, and there's a little bit more room over there for that bigger element, and I've decided to put that little totally chipboard piece to the right, and so I just stuck a little piece on there that says totally happy. So just fiddling around with that placement of that little card that I've tucked underneath. Every time I stuck it down it wasn't quite right, and I wanted you to be able to see the words underneath that camera that say "You make me ridiculously happy." So it's important to not cover up all of those words. And just sticking things down. Haven't quite stuck that bit down yet, so there I go, just some double-sided tape on the back and putting that in place, and looking through some of the sticker sheets, some of the sticker elements for some little bit of added extras that I can tuck under there. So that was one of the little cut aparts, or one of the little cards. I think it was the bottom half of that Life is Good card that I just cut in half or cut little pieces off. So those little flowers there were really cute. They were from the Amy Tangerine collection. I'm not sure which one. I've had them for a while, and they were three-dimensional, so they gave a nice little bit of lift to the page and added some nice black and white to it without it being too girly. And I had another little flower there that I'm cutting out. As I took it off the sticker sheet, I ripped half of it off, so I had to cut out one of the petals, but then I decided not to use it anyway. So I was looking a little bit blank on the left hand side, so I found that Project Life card that says "You are so very loved," and I want to add that, but it's looking a little bit plain. So just trying to find something within my stash that might remedy that. And I found this little camera, and I want to put something else over there, but that's not quite it. Going back to the sticker sheet and having a look, and I thought I could add another pop of orange, but that was a little bit too much orange. So I found that little arrow sticker that had the white in the middle. So I've placed that down there, and I'm going to use that and fiddle with the placement of that little flower. And I decided that, look, I had that orange arrow a little bit crooked, so I'll peel that up, and in the peeling up it ripped in half. So now I'm trying to disguise the fact that it's got a rip in it, and I'm looking for different elements that I can add to that area. So I found that cute little round brown chipboard, and I thought that would be nice as the camera is brown, but there's not much brown going on in other places in the layout, so I thought that I would be able to pull in that colour and use that on the layout in more than one spot. But I can't quite figure out how to use that, as it's a little bit too big for the spot that I wanted to use it in. So I went and had a look through that sticker sheet and found a little tiny thin brown strip with little white love hearts all over it, and as you can see I've added that to the top of that white card, and I cut a little bit off and also added it to the bottom so that the same pattern is repeated. So in one of the sticker books I found a little sticker there that I'm holding that says favourite time of the day, and that is a nice grey colour, so it blends in really well. So I'm going to add that to the page, but I'm still looking for something to put on that little arrow that I had ripped. So I found the little file tab with the same print as the background paper, and I've stuck that on there. And I'm going to stick that little sticker down there on the bottom left underneath the camera and build that little cluster up. And I also grab that the brown spotty piece, chipboard piece that I said I really wanted to use, and I cut that in half with a pair of scissors and tuck that underneath where it is now so that I can use it again at another time. So there I am, fiddling and fussing a lot with that little flower, just trying to get it right. So here I am, cut that in half and slip that under there, and then I've got the other half for another time, except for the backing fell off when I cut it in half, and I had to re-stick it with some double-sided tape. So I'm looking at it thinking I'm pretty happy with that, and it's not too heavily embellished, and I'm ready to call it quits. So just adding some black ink, and I'll show you some close-ups, and then you'll see some still shots afterwards. So thank you for joining me again today, and I hope you enjoyed this process video, and I'll see you next time. Bye!